When a major system goes dark, the immediate reaction is a hunt for a perpetrator. We look for the footprint of a sophisticated hacker or a single employee who made a catastrophic mistake. Forensic investigations usually uncover a far more boring reality. Catastrophic failures are rarely the result of a single brilliant strike from the outside. They are the logical conclusion of internal oversights. This is silent accumulation, granting temporary access that's never revoked, or bypassing a critical patch to meet a deadline. Though documented, floor practice differs. The organization assumes the system is secure simply because it hasn't crashed yet. These small, unaddressed weaknesses act like dry brush in a forest. They sit there, unnoticed, until a minor operational glitch provides the spark. By then, the internal rot is so extensive that the entire architecture buckles. Blaming a hacker is a convenient way to avoid looking at the internal operational breakdown that made the failure possible in the first place. Modern IT general controls, or ITGC, are often dismissed as a check-the-box exercise for auditors. This perspective ignores their actual function. ITGC is the structural engineering of a digital system. It is a set of dependencies where the failure of one control inevitably compromises the others. The idea is that everything is connected. System access has to be tightly controlled. Not just anyone can get in or make changes. Changes need to be clear, tested, and properly handled, not just push it through, especially during emergencies. Day-to-day operations need real attention. Monitoring, backups, and incident management aren't optional or secondary. These aren't isolated departments. Weak access controls allow unauthorized changes, which overwhelm the daily monitoring teams. One failure triggers the next. There is a significant difference between a control that exists on paper and a control that actually functions in the real world. Preventative controls, on the left, stop the damage before it occurs. Detective controls, on the right, only tell you that the damage is already done. An alarm is useful, but it won't stop the fire. Most manual controls fail because they rely on human consistency, which doesn't scale. If a company underinvests in automation, they are effectively choosing to accept a higher rate of human error in their security checks. In the world of ITGC, if you cannot produce a time-stamped, verifiable log of a control being executed, the control does not exist. Claims of "we usually check that" hold no value during a forensic audit. The strength of a system isn't found in the thickness of its policy manual. It is found in the verifiable evidence that those policies are being followed every single day. Technical pillars only stand if they are supported by the culture set at the top. When leaders prioritize speed or cost-cutting over these controls, they are actively choosing to increase systemic risk. Managing a system requires looking for the gaps where execution is weak. The places where "we've always done it this way" has replaced actual verification. This requires an honest look at the risks that remain unresolved. Often, these risks are tolerated because leadership has a personal trust in the staff, rather than a technical trust in the system's safeguards. Organizations that survive long-term are those that replace blind trust with a system of verified accountability. A microscopic fracture in an access policy or a skipped test in a minor update is all it takes. The largest losses often trace back to the smallest ignored weakness. The technical vulnerabilities have been identified, and the architecture of accountability is visible. The next steps depend on whether these gaps are treated as manageable risks or